Hi, everyone. It is November 16th, 2016. Thank you for tuning in. And I just want to announce real quick that I just started a new Twitter at Oceanfront News 1. You can follow me there. And I tweeted out earlier today, what does illegal and illegal immigration do people not understand? And the reason why I tweeted this out is because I saw this article out of masslive.com. And you can go ahead and read it. I'm going to link it down below. Essentially, what it does is it details how the governor, Devil Patrick 2.0, Charlie Baker, is going to protect the illegal immigrants already in the state of Massachusetts, and he says he will work with the Trump administration, but will not, comply with federal law. Which one of the solutions to this is quite possibly that Boston will get cut off from federal funding, or even the entire state will get cut off from some sort of federal funding. So we'll see what will happen here as time moves forward. But I do have a couple other articles I want to get to just to kind of illustrate the point even more about how bad illegal immigrants really are. And I'm not saying every single person is horrible. It's just that, anybody who's undocumented is breaking the law. And that's something that a lot of these liberals seem to be missing here, is that when you have these immigrants coming across the border without any sort of background check, or anybody asking questions of where even these people are coming from, they can come in here and do whatever they want. They can break the law. They could, you know, they have no sense of nationality. They don't identify as Americans. They identify as Mexicans. And you see throughout many of these protests, particularly the ones that have been taking place recently since the election of Donald Trump, you see people carrying around Mexican flags, particularly in the California area. So these immigrants, they don't identify as Americans. They identify as Mexicans. Okay? So they have absolutely no allegiance to the American people. And this article right here demonstrates this. And this is out of Germany. This is, I understand that this is about the refugee crisis, but it applies here as well. I mean, a lot of these refugees, they're coming from war-torn Syria and other parts of the Middle East. And many of them are military-aged men. And they're running around and they're raping women all over the place in places like Germany, Sweden. Let's go ahead. I'm going to read a little bit of this article. Sexual violence in Germany has skyrocketed since Angela Merkel allowed more than 1 million mostly male migrants from Africa, Asia, and the Middle East into the country. The crimes are being downplayed by authorities, apparently to avoid fueling anti-immigration sentiments. The moment male migrants see a young woman wearing a skirt or any type of loose clothing, they believe they have a free pass. Restaurant owner at a mall in Kiel. So that's key right there. Because again, they don't identify with this particular culture, so they feel the need to have to go and conquer everybody. Because they've already conquered the country. Now it's time to go out and set an example to the citizenry that, hey, we got your country now. And that's essentially the attitude of many of these, not just the refugees, but the immigrants as well. And with the immigrants, you see this type of attitude, particularly within the welfare state, because they could come in here, they can take all our welfare, food stamps, you name it, and say, hey, we own you now. Pay up. Pay up. Now, there was an interview that was done with this woman, I don't know her name, but she was talking to Barack Obama. I believe this was right before the election. And she said to Obama, if you're illegal, can you vote? And she was very snarky, very nasty. We illegals, we do contribute to this country, and that's what she says to Obama. He's like, yeah, of course, don't worry about it. Go vote. When you vote, you're a citizen. And wait a minute, hold on. These the immigrants, just because they vote, doesn't make them citizens, okay? And actually, to find out, there was another story that came out after the election. Come to find out, there was 3,000 illegal immigrants that did end up going out and voting. That they didn't find out until after the votes had already been counted. Now, this is another story. Uh, a woman raped in a ditch for 2 hours after an illegal immigrant crashed his car into her vehicle and ran her off the road. Let's go ahead and read some of the points here. Roberto Carlos Flores Siberian, 26, was arrested after allegedly raping a woman on the morning of Halloween. He crashed into the woman's car and then pulled her out and into a ditch where he sexually assaulted her for 2 hours, police said. Almost kind of resembles what the restaurant owner was saying in this article. Let me go back and reread this because it's very important. The moment male migrants say young woman wearing a skirt or any type of loose clothing, they believe they have a free pass. Restaurant owner at a mall in Kiel. See, same thing. You got a vulnerable woman here who had just gotten in an accident with you, and you see her, laying out on the ground or in the car, passed out. And this particular immigrant was like, you know what, this is a free pass. I'm going to take advantage of this girl. No problem. I'll get away with it. And that's essentially the attitude that many of these illegals have. I mean, these illegal immigrants, they are criminal. They are here illegally. They're breaking federal law. And they need to be deported. Again, as I said earlier, they don't even identify as Americans. They identify as Mexicans, many of them. And of course, there's a whole bunch others that are here that identify with other nationalities or other countries. And they're being brought in here to essentially destroy the country's finances. Cloward and pivot. The Cloward and pivot strategy means that you overwhelm the system. And part of that overwhelming the system it applies that you bring in as many people as you possibly can who are illegal to then overwhelm the welfare system, and that way you can bankrupt the country that way. And that's what is happening with the illegal immigration policies that are going on with the Obama administration. It has been going on for years now, and this is exactly what Donald Trump is trying to prevent and trying to stop at the same time. Now, let me go ahead and go off on a tangent with Donald Trump, though, because I was wrong. I have to admit, I'm eating crow a little bit. I did go out and vote for Donald Trump, and the reason why I went out and voted for Donald Trump is because I really do believe he means what he says. Now, is he going to do everything that he promised? I hope so. I hope he's able to cover everything that he promised. But the one big thing that I'm seeing from him that I don't remember seeing from President Obama, nor do I remember seeing this from George W. Bush, is that after he got elected, he's just not sitting around and playing patty cake here. President-elect Donald Trump has been doing stuff. He's been proactive. He's been on the phone with world leaders. He's talking to Russia and, trying to calm tensions between the two countries, the United States and Russia, and basically going out there and preventing nuclear war, something that George Soros and the rest of the Democratic Party are trying to do. Because the Democratic Party right now, the neoliberals and the neocons, they want to try to create so much chaos that they'll enable them to be able to get away with their crimes. And of course, as we've seen with the WikiLeaks release within the last month or two, there's a whole bunch of crimes that they're indicated in, and it's pretty obvious at this point what they're trying to do, because it's already out there, it's already public. Everybody knows what Hillary Clinton's been involved in, as well as the rest of the Democratic Party and many of the neocons as well. It's out there, so they're out there trying to, of course, George Soros is trying to start these the protests, the color revolutions. I guess it's called the Purple Revolution, and trying to leverage the anger of the millennials, to overturn the election basically overthrowing the new government that's about to take power in January 20th. Now, again, we also do have another electoral vote coming in every December 19th. Yeah, that's right. It was December 19th that they're supposed to vote again. But this is, of course, one of those things where it's very, very rare for a presidential election to be overturned with this particular vote. So we're gonna have to see what happens. I highly doubt the George Soros of the world are gonna succeed, but we'll see what happens. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Take care. God bless, and see you in the next video. Peace.